Hey everyone, it's Kai. Now after downloading the fodMC from GitHub, you will see that you have a number of files as well as a number of folders. And I just want to take a minute to make you familiar with the structure of this directory. First of all, authors.md lists all the people who have contributed to the code, including myself for writing the main program, Alex Johnson for having the initial idea of the connectivity matrix, which I will explain in the future. We have Jakob Kraus in Freiberg, Germany, who had several improvements for the connectivity matrix as well as for input handling in general. And we have Sebastian Schwalbe in Freiberg, who first of all developed a Python interface for the fodMC called pyfodMC. And all the discussions with Sebastian led to a lot of source code structuring, a lot of simplifications, not just of the input, but of the code itself, which made it simpler and better to use. Changelog will list all major changes which have been implemented into the fodMC. So you see a timestamp, you see who made the change, and then a list of what changes were implemented. So whenever you obtain a new version of the code, you can always look up what major changes have been implemented in the past. The license file is simply there to show you which license the fodMC is published under, which is the Apache 2.0. So it's an open source code, just to make that clear. And if you want to know more about this license, you can look it up online or read this file. And the README file, which is available at GitHub as well, is listing the major information that I just talked about. The fodMC stands for Fermi-Orbital Descriptor Monte Carlo. We're listing here all the people who have contributed to this code. The coding language is Fortran, and a very short description of this code is that it's a guess generator for FOD positions to be used in the Fermi-Left orbital self-induction correction method. The main point here, I think, is that there is a manual which explains the underlying idea of the program. It shows some examples and it goes into more detail about how the code exactly works. So besides the videos that will be published about that, there is a manual where you can look it up. Installation, I said something about that in one of the last videos. You need a Fortran compiler. You go into your source directory, you type in bash compile sh, and you're done. And about running the code, I'm not going to go into any great detail right now because I'm going to go into great detail later on. I think the main point is again that there is a manual, and I highly recommend you to have a look at the manual, at least for the examples given there. Right, now that we have talked about the files, let's have a brief look at the folders that we have. Doc contains the file fodmc.pdf, and this is the manual that I've been talking about. So this is always part of the fodMC directory, so you will always have that available when you download the code. Examples is the folder where you should run your code and where you should modify input in order to get output. I will again go into great detail about that later on, so I will not talk about it right now. The folder images contains exactly one image, which is the logo of the fodMC, which you will see at GitHub as well. So this is just part of the directories here. Python is the folder where we have the Python interface of the fodMC called pyfodMC, and this can be used as well, so there's no problem with that. And I guess most importantly for right now is the source directory, which contains your executable, your code, as well as your bash compilation script. And important for you in the future are the two input files, which is system and xx database. And this is it for files and folders. Thank you very much.